Hello, welcome to another episode of Minecraft Evolution. And in today's episode, we are going to be tackling an issue that we have been dealing with for quite a while. It's slowly just kind of ramped up, and it was a big issue last episode. You might be able to guess what it is, seeing as my rightmost inventory slot is empty right now. Yeah, we're running out of food. All the food we have left is this stale piece of bread that's been in here for like a week, and these old moldy things of soup. Oh, we do have some extra wheat. Maybe we can bake up some more bread. But yeah, this is all we have left for this entire episode. The food that we have in this video, we're gonna have to ration it out until this video's over. But we are going to go ahead and let's actually grab this. Go ahead and work on fixing that issue. Let's just organize our inventory a little bit. All right. So what we will be doing is just right up here. Let's just get up here so I can explain what we'll be doing today. Up we go. Okay. What we'll be doing today to fix our food situation is starting from right around over there, my cross areas, to all the way over here into farmland. So this whole mountain here is just going to become one giant farm. And down over here, we're going to be building a barn, a windmill, probably some grain silos or something. We're just going to be turning from all the way over here to all the way over here into one giant farm, which means a lot of terraforming. We're going to have to flatten this all out. We're going to have to get this set up nicely. We're also going to have to make sure monsters and mobs can't get onto this mountain. Now, I'm not sure if monsters can spawn on tilled soil. I don't think they can. So if they can't spawn on tilled soil, we're gonna have to make sure they can't get up onto this thing. So any staircases we build, we're gonna have to block off and all that good stuff. But another thing we're also gonna be doing is, you see that giant gap right there? We're gonna have to fill that in. So a ton of blocks. I'm also gonna probably work on building up the bottom of it. I think we're most likely gonna leave it hollow, but that's still a lot of blocks either way that we're gonna have to build up over there. To help us out during this, let's just come back down here real quick. If you were observant during the last couple episodes, you would have noticed that we have been stockpiling all these seeds, and it seemed at the time kind of wasteful to waste up our inventory space. But now I think you guys see why we were doing that. I had this plan for a little bit that we would be setting up this farm. So yeah. But other than that, it is the time of the year where it is getting cold, it's snowing, people are putting up the nice colorful lights, and we just can't do that in this version of the game. We don't have spruce wood, we don't have any snow, we don't got any of the fancy looking stuff for Christmas time. But what we do have is a giant tree we built last episode. And what we're gonna do is we don't have that many colorful blocks to build up with, but we do have iron, gold, and diamonds. But sadly, all our gold and diamonds happen to be in this castle. So we're gonna have I don't have flowers on me. So we're gonna have to go ahead and take those back. And just for this episode though, and we're just gonna go and throw them on that tree to make everything look nice and festive. Then after this episode, we'll go ahead and put all the diamonds and stuff back. Now, while we're decorating our tree here, I think it's a good time just to talk about general tips for decorating your Christmas tree if you're watching this during Christmas, or if I even get this video out before Christmas. I hope I do. I really do. But with the size of this project, I might not. Anyways, tip number 1 and my biggest pet, well, it's not really a pet peeve, but it's something that really helps make your Christmas tree look really good. I'm not going to do it here because leaves are not as see through, and you understand why. It's Minecraft, not an actual Christmas tree. Anyways, tip number one, make sure you decorate not just the outside of your Christmas tree, but make sure you also decorate the inside. And I mean, like, you have the fluffy outside branches. If you have a, well, even if you have a real Christmas tree, I've never had a real Christmas tree, so I'm just assuming here, but I would assume you have on the inner layers actual wooden branches with less needles and leaves in there. In those parts, you want to put your tillin. I can never say that word right. Tillin, you know what I mean. The fluffy, silvery stuff and your light in there. And you wrap it around the branches as you slowly twirl it up. And not near the outside, near in the middle, center area. And then when you turn on your lights, all the ornaments and the sparkling and the lights in the center of the tree is going to push on the outside and really make your tree look full. Because if you're just hanging up your ornaments on the outside or just your lights on the outer edge of your Christmas tree, you're going to quickly run out of room. And when you look at it from afar, yeah, it's going to look nice, of course, but it's going to look like there's still a lot of space, really isn't, to put more ornaments. So if you're also putting ornaments and lights on the inside of the tree, it really helps fill out your tree and it gives it more depth, which, if you know anything, is a big thing even in Minecraft. You always want to have depth. It really helps make your things look better. But tip number two, this one is a pet peeve, and it's decorate the back of your tree. I don't care if it's against the wall. I don't care if no one's ever going to see it. Decorate the back of your tree, because you're going to have that one person who does look in the back of the tree, and then they're going to look back there and say, hey, why didn't you decorate the back of your tree? It's also it's peace of mind knowing that if something happens in the front of the tree, you can twist it around, or just generally knowing that you have a fully decorated tree. Tip number three, and this one, it's kind of a tip, but you don't have to do it. I like doing it personally. But what I like to do is make sure, even if I have to lift the tree off the ground with a box or something, it's to make sure there's at least a 2 foot gap between the tree, the bottom of the tree, and the ground, just so you have room to place your presents. Because a lot of modern fake trees, at least, they don't have that. There's like maybe a foot of room underneath the tree, and you're never going to be able to fit any good amount of gifts underneath to make that perfect Christmas tree scene, like from the movies and stuff. So you want to get a box, get jerry rig something. I always do, and try to lift your tree a few feet off the ground. Of course, make sure the tree isn't gonna fall and all that. But get the tree a few feet off the ground, and when you put the gifts underneath, it's gonna look amazing. Trust me. Tip number 4. This again is another thing I personally do that I just like to do, and it's if you have any white tillin or icicle type things, I like to make it look like the white tillin or icicles fell on the tree, like there's snow on the top layer of the tree. So I'll focus all the tillin or white tillin. I know I'm saying that word completely wrong, but I like to focus all of that towards the top of the tree and slowly spiral it down and make less and less of the white stuff go towards the bottom. And then if I have like little icicle ornaments, I will put those at the very bottom of the tree, making them hang down and look like there's icicles dripping down from the tree. And my 5th and final tip is if you have any glass ornament, try to make sure that your tree not just has that little skirt underneath it, but try to make sure your tree is also above a carpet or a rug, preferably a really fluffy one. So if any of your glass ornaments do fall, they have a less chance of breaking. I don't have that many glass ornaments on my tree personally, but I do have a few that I really care about. They were made a long time ago, and they're made of light bulbs, and they're made of a light bulb that basically isn't made anymore. So it's basically impossible for me to ever get more of those ornaments. Plus, they're made by someone I care about. To help make sure, or at least reduce the chance of glass light bulbs, or not light bulbs, of glass ornaments breaking, put a fluffy rug or a blanket or something down underneath the tree and make sure it goes past the branches of the trees, at least by a foot or two, and that will hopefully reduce how many ornaments of yours will break, especially if you have special ones. So yeah, that's all 5 of my tips for me. But now that we're all done decorating our tree here, let's go ahead and actually get to work on this episode. And let's see. There we go. It took us an entire in-game day, but now we have our tree decorated for Christmas. We probably could have used some in the front, but oh well. There we go. It looks kind of weird, but let's see if we can get a better viewing point. Yeah, there we go. Well, yeah, Merry Christmas for any of you watching this during Christmas. So, we're to begin with, we're gonna flatten all of this right here. Well, we're not gonna fill in any blocks just yet. That's another episode. But we're gonna flatten all these bits down to this level. And that's because this farmland also help with dealing with monsters getting up onto it, and of course trampling our land. We're going to build it as a what's it called? It's not. I can't remember what it's called. But it's when like you stack rocks to make walls and layered hills. Not Terralith. I can't remember what it's called. A terrace, which is, if you don't know what that is, it's just a bunch of farmland that's basically flat, but stacked on top of each other in a step formation. So, example, I'm just building a short little one right here. Say this is our farmland. Of course, it would be much huger, but say this is our farmland. We went up 3 blocks, and then the next step up will go another 3, and that's what a terrace would be. And this will also prevent, because we'll have, I don't know what we're going to do for our pathway up, but we're going to have a way so animals and monsters can't get up. So if they can't spawn on farmland and they can't get up, they can't trample our farm. And that's the idea. So yeah. And of course, I'm going to want it all to be at this level, which means we need to flatten out this terrain over here to this level. Just so we know where we're going to be building this all. Yeah. Let's go all the way around and go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, and with this mostly terraformed, the rest of this is going to be another episode thing. Trust me, I already have plans, just like I have plans here. Get excited. They're going to be huge plans. Not really, I'm joking. Don't get excited, please. But anyways, now let's go ahead and just build up our terrace. Why do I keep wanting to call it a terralith? I already forgot what it's called. You see, this is a word that just leaves my mind and I can't think of it once it's gone. But let's just go ahead and build up this. Bloop, bloop. And we're also going to be leaving a lot of this land hollow because, and trust me, I don't know if this is actually going to work. And it's something I want to do with our tree originally. I kind of alluded to doing something else with the tree. But it kind of turns out you can't build monster farms in this version of the game without lighting up your entire world. And I just don't want to do that. I think it's already kind of ugly over at the mine shaft. But I wanted to build a monster farm underneath the tree. And I tried building a dark box. Nothing. I couldn't do anything. And I even went to Reddit to see if people who have been playing this version of Minecraft for years and years had any way of doing it. And nope. According to them, no one has actually found a way of building a monster farm in this version of Minecraft. Now, I don't believe that's 100% true. I believe because, like I just mentioned, without lighting up your entire world. I believe someone has built a monster farm, but it required lighting up their entire world, caves, and everything. And that's just generally something I don't want to do because at that point, we might as well just play in peaceful. So yeah, yeah. But that doesn't mean we might not be able to build a farm because if you just notice, a sheep spawned down there, and if we leave this hollow, I'm hoping that we will be able to farm passive animals instead. If the we need to go grab some more cobblestone and dirt. But if we just layers of platforms of grass and light them up, I'm hoping monsters will still be able to spawn. I'm hoping monsters will be able to spawn on those platforms, even if they're underground. Because we get monsters down in our mines, so or not monsters. We get animals down in our mines. So I'm hoping if we have a bunch of lit up platforms of grass, we'll be able to farm passive animals. And then we would also not just have access to infinite bread, we would have access to infinite pork chops as well. But that's just the plan. I don't know if that's true, and I'm not going to be clearing that out this episode. Just like that other little island off next to the, what's it called? Just like the other island off next to the lumber mill or lumber yard. Oh, it's becoming night. We got to wait it out. But just like that island, we're going to slowly hollow out the farm as we need materials like stone and dirt. Which I might not even ever get to doing fully or completing fully because of how little time we have left in this world. But yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, I don't think I don't know if you guys are exactly gonna want to watch me do this. Also, we're just gonna cut to when we're done. All right, and one terraforming session later, and we have flattened all of this out and flattened this whole mountain out. We also bridged the gap here, so everything is ready to basically just work on. It should be smooth sailing from here. I decided to keep this just to break up some of the terrain and make things look nice. I also well, we haven't finished lighting it up, but I lit up this whole mountain so we can work on this while it's nighttime and not have to worry about monsters and stuff. So yeah, uh, I it isn't fully lit up, but I crafted up some more torches. This is also all the cobblestone we have left, so we're most likely gonna have to go and get some more cobblestone from the island. So yeah, let's go ahead and just get to working on the next layers of the farm. It should be pretty easy. Let's just get over here and I can show you better what I got done. Down we go, down we go. Oh, look, there's a creeper. We got it. We can deal with it. We only have one thing of pumpkin soup, or not pumpkin soup, mushroom soup left. Hello, creeper. So we gotta be a little careful. Oh, there's another creeper. We got lucky. Get back. Get back. Get back. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that's all the monsters we're gonna have to deal with. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like we're all in the clear now. Ooh, we almost walked into the void. Wasn't paying attention there. Alright. Here we go. So all the way around all the way around the edges, I spaced it out 4 blocks. I tried to do it in the angles too, but it's not 100%. I needed to make sure I would get like these corners with water. This would get it. But we couldn't go all the way around for this first layer, so it goes all the way over here, all the way around, but it ends right over here. So this wall is going to go up another 3 blocks before we have a little dirt path. So yeah, let's real quick finish lighting this up, and then we can start working on this next layer here. Should be pretty easy. It's going to take a lot of stone again, but won't be as scary as dangling next to the void. Alright, now the first thing we're going to have to do here, and this might be actually the hardest part of this, is we have to replace all these blocks on the edges, like here. And we need to have a gap here without this. We can't have a hole to the... No, no, no. Okay. That is not what I meant to do. Uh, we have to have it like this. Now that we have this block, it should be a lot easier to go all the way around. But, let's just, our last food source. Oh, we're gonna be sitting on half a health for the rest of this video. Oh, that's not gonna be fun. But what we have to do is to have this on all the outer edges, so then when we flood this all with water, which I'm now just realizing all these torches are gonna break when we do that. But when we flood this all with water, we'll have water here, and this part will get covered up when we do the next layer. So yeah, we need to go all the way around and work on that. And I don't think I brought it up yet, but if you're wondering why I did this all out of wood, well, like I said, this is all going to get covered up anyways. But I figured it would be a lot cheaper than using stone or dirt. Plus, wood's renewable, so we can easily get more. Even though we are running low now, we can just go to our tree farm and AFK. Well, not really AFK, but sit at the farm for a while and get trees that way. Alright, and now with this all done, well, I think this is a good point to just mention that even though we just built all of this, we're gonna have to undo like maybe a fifth of the work we just did. Um, I wasn't sure about this because I did some testing. Let me explain here better. I was doing some testing and I found out even if I had all of this tilled, monsters would still get up here. And that's because of this cobblestone right here. Yeah, even if this isn't a full block, they can't spawn on this, but they can always spawn on this. So what I gotta do, we don't got any slabs on us. Let's go grab some real quick. Alright, like I was saying, what we have to do to stop monsters from spawning on these is we can't just light up the area, because besides the fact torches can't be here, they would have to be on the wall if I wanted to light it all up. But it would kind of be ugly, and that wouldn't stop passive mobs from spawning on this cobblestone. So what we gotta do is slab it. But I wasn't sure if I like the slabs just like this, which this would be way easier to do. If it was just this, yeah, we would need a ton of stone, but we could get this done really quickly. But I also was testing the idea of setting the slabs one block down like this. Let's just do this like that. And I wasn't sure which way I liked better. So I decided to go to Reddit and I asked everyone there on the old I believe it's called Old School Minecraft or something on that subreddit which way looked better. And here's the results. As you can see, a majority voted for us to do it. The majority of you guys voted for it going downwards. And you both had arguments I do agree with. Having it this way, of course, exposes the dirt and it makes it look overfilled, like some of you are saying. But I also really like the look of having the wheat visible, and it does give a lot of depth and contrast, which, like I always say, important to have depth and contrast in your builds. So with that, and the fact that majority of you guys voted for this, well, I don't know if you're anyone who voted is watching this, but for the majority of people voted for this, we have to go all the way around and just go through and place down all these slabs. Now you also may be asking why didn't I do this to begin with? Why did I wait until I finished everything? And that's because I just wanted to give it some time before I gathered up the answers. I didn't want to just let the post sit for like an hour and go off of the first person that comments. So I let it sit for a couple days, and yeah, that's what I did. So we're gonna go all the way around and slab this up. Now I know you guys just watched me build all of this, so I'm not gonna make you watch me do all of this. I'll just skip you guys ahead to when it's done. Okay, and that is the final block there. What else we got all the oh wait. Never mind. That was not the final area. We forgot a little spot. Let's fill that in real quick. Do 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 do. There we go. Now it's all filled in. Uh, let's grab this our crafting table. Now, the next thing we need to work on is building. Well, not really building, but getting rid of all these dirt steps like this, and adding in new ones that monsters won't spawn on. Because if there's full blocks, a monster, a pig, or something has a small chance of spawning on it. So we gotta add some that they can't spawn on it. And the way I'm gonna do that is just by using bottom slabs like this. So we can jump up, but because both of these slabs are on the bottom of a block, nothing can spawn on these. Just like how we have them over here. Ah, it's becoming night. So we're going to have to continue this when it becomes day again. But we'll come back with some seeds so we can start planting at least up there. So we're not sitting on 2 hearts while we build up the rest of this farm. So yeah, let's head back to our tower and then come back when it's day again. Alright, I checked the recording just to see when the screen stopped working, and it was after when we came over here. So what we did, we didn't do too much. We just went, we grabbed some more, well, we collected some wheat so we could craft up some bread so we weren't on 1.5 hearts. And we were just about to start building this. Alright, let's try this once again. Wait. Let me check OBS, let me make sure it's still working. Okay, we got audio, we got game audio, we got visuals, we're working. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. This is the third time that OBS has given me a little bit of issues here. But what we did, we got some wheat planted down and we gathered up some so we were no longer sitting on half a heart anymore. We also started building up the first build for over here. So, well, why is there so many sheep? There's like a ton of sheep over here. anyways, what we did, we just spaced out from this way. I believe it was like 6 or 7. What was it? 3, 4, 5, 7. Every 7 blocks they were spaced out, and then over here is every like 5. Yeah, no, every 6 was over here. Every 6 it was spaced out this way. And now we were just working on building it up. Where's our planks? We don't got any. We gotta grab some. So yeah, that's where we were at before I checked OBS and saw it was giving me issues, which wasn't fun. But yeah, we need to go from here. We just need to go up. We actually don't need that one there. I'm remembering, but what was it? 6 blocks. We just need to go up 6 blocks from this. So 1, 2, 4. Now I am actually recording this a couple days after that OBS just kind of stopped working for a little bit. Not because I was having trouble with OBS, but just because well, the main reason is I got a little sidetracked. But I was also getting a little frustrated with OBS, so I just took a break for a while. And while I was taking a break, I got sidetracked and decided to make, or at least, well, I decided I wanted to make a Minecraft server for my friends and stuff. And I had to figure out what version would be best to like play on, because I personally love Java. But not all my friends can have Java set up. So I ended up having to make a Bedrock server. Now, the issue with Bedrock isn't the setting up the server. The setting up the server was extremely easy, to be honest. I'm still working out some kinks, but it took me like 5 minutes. That's it. What the issue is with Java is it's forced into the modern version of Minecraft. And there's kind of there's not really a big issue with it, but there is kind of an issue with that. So I have not been keeping up with the Minecraft updates, not since the caving cliff. Well, and even bits of caves and cliffs, I'm kind of vague on. I don't remember all the details of caves and cliffs. Like, I know there's the deep dark, there's lush caves and stuff, dripstone, etc. But what I don't know is like I don't know how skulk streakers and stuff work. I know they exist. But I'm not exactly in the know of all their mechanics, how they can be used, and all that good stuff. And anything past that point, I don't know nothing about. I kind of kept myself out of the loop of all Minecraft updates, so that once we get to that point in the series, which I was aware would take many years, like just to get to 1.20, it would take like at least, I think, like 20 years, which is a long time. But I was kind of staying out of the loop of Minecraft update for that reason, just so I could, I don't know. By the time I would get to that version, Minecraft would have changed so much. It would be like I'm playing it for the first time again. But well, that was my original plan, and that's why I kind of kept myself out of the loop. I even stopped watching Minecraft YouTubes I really liked. And anything related to Minecraft, I completely stopped watching, just so I didn't get any spoilers. And yeah, that was what I was planning to do, but I'm sorry, but I'd rather be able to play the game with my friends over make content. Plus, it's gonna take like 20 years to get to all that good stuff. I I think I'm gonna prioritize being able to hang out with my friends occasionally than over content. So sadly, you guys won't get to see me experience that stuff for the first time. Sad. That's sad. You get to see, because I'm not 100% familiar with the older versions. You guys will get to see me play the older versions now and experience some of those for the first time. But yeah. Anyways, other than that, my reasonings for not playing the new version, I gotta say, just for the few years that I was out of the loop for everything, it has changed a lot. Like, there's built-in shaders by default, and I don't know if I love the shaders or hate them, because it just feels weird. I think even me at this point, if I went to go play like the version that I'm most comfortable with, which is 1.16.5, even if I went playing that version, I think by now, I think I would still feel weird just because I'm used to the world looking like this bright green, like really bright, and I don't know how to explain it. Like I'm trying to find the words to explain it, but I can't think of it. Like even the fact I'm not ignoring the brightness thing, ignoring the fact that everything's brighter in this version. The like modern Minecraft, I don't know. It There's something else to it. Like it I guess it's like it looks softer. I guess that's like the best way I could explain it. And I don't know if that's because of the shaders or if it's just that's how modern Minecraft is. I'm just not used. I've just haven't played in so long, but everything just looks so I guess soft in modern Minecraft. I just don't know how to explain it. And that's part of the reason why I don't know if I love or hate the shaders that are like now built just default built in. Yeah, because the shaders are actually really fitting for Minecraft. Like I'm gonna need a ton more slabs, but they're they're not like realistic shaders, like how you have that smooth shadows and stuff. The shadows are still like pixely, which in I wouldn't say they're pixely like they're like low resolution textures. It's more like pixely, like it fits in with the blocky theme. And I really, I don't know. Most shaders go for like the real, like in any shaders that I've seen that you download, they're like I don't know, realistic shaders which look awesome. My computer cannot run those though, but they're always realistic and smooth shadows. Where this built-in shader is well, like I said, it fits the Minecraft theme. So just not. It just feels weird. There's also like besides just how the game looks, there's like these new mobs and stuff. My friend was just listing them off to me as that we were playing. There's uh copper now has more uses. There's copper armor. Like it's not just decorational anymore. I have no idea how copper armor works. I was just in Stone Age the whole time we were playing. This copper armor. I saw this. We okay. I don't. There was this weird mob, and there was this weird mob. Uh, I forgot what they told me it was. They told me what it was, but I forgot it. But it it looks weird. It looked like a block. Like you know how shulkers are literal block, and they're like a monster, but they're a block. Imagine that, but it wasn't a shulker. It was it was like it wasn't even a full block either. It was a smaller than a block, but I would say it was a little bit bigger than a player head, and it was a mob, and it was just a block. I don't know. It everything was weird in that version, and I have a lot of adapting to do. What else was it? I was confused by. I'm trying to think now. Uh, honestly, I just stuck to how I normally play the game. I just started building a castle, so I didn't interact with too much of the new stuff yet. I also didn't want to make a ton of progress because not everyone was in the server yet. But they changed the wolf textures. Like it's no longer just like the wolf texture. It's like I found a wolf and it was brown. It looked like a German Shepherd. I think I think it looked like a German Shepherd. It was brown and white. I might be mixing up my dog breeds, but it looked like that. Like one of the dogs you would see like a in like a stereotypical like police dog, the brown and white. That's what it looked like. They they changed the wolf texture. That I love the wolf texture. Uh, it's, so now I have to. there's also new animal textures in general, like pigs, but the pigs they're similar. They're not like totally different like the dog was, but they look different. They're definitely not the same, but they are different, and it threw me off. There's also brown chickens. They're no longer white. Um, what else? Sheep sheep for the most part look pretty much the same. There's a little bit of difference, but they're not too different. I saw a cow and it had horns. Like it had a 3D model with actual horns on it. That's something you only see out of a mod. That's literally like what was it? There's a mod that adds more realistic animal models, and that's what it looked like. So yeah, just there was just generally been a lot of changes that feel so weird, and it's only been a few years. I I can't imagine if I waited the full 20 years. But anyways, what was I talking about? This is why I hate trying to talk and do something at the same time. My brain does not focus well trying to do both. But anyways, it's good for content. I really like how the last episode came out with. It was not a shorter video, obviously. It turned out to be like an hour or so. But I liked how much better, like it felt like it had a better quality just because I kept talking and there was like less editing, or there was still quite a bit of editing, but there was less cuts in between doing things, and it wasn't just me explaining what I was doing. So it just felt better to record and stuff. And I really liked how the video ended up turning out. Didn't gain a ton of views from it. Like it wasn't like a huge bonus of views just because of how I changed the editing. But it's still, I feel like it was a better video uh than the lumber yard. On the topic of videos and stuff, I am currently thinking about doing a Christmas stream. I don't know if I'll be doing it on Christmas or like if I'll have time, or I don't know exactly when, or it's not 100% certain yet. But I am thinking of doing a Christmas stream. But the issue is I don't know what I should stream, like at all. Uh, it can't just be Minecraft. That would be boring. Just me playing more of this. It needs to be something different, but I'm not sure what. I made a tweet about it. I'll link my Twitter in the description. Oh no, I can't link my Twitter. Never mind. I won't link my Twitter. I don't have I haven't verified yet. Well, I'm trying to do verification, YouTube verification, just by building a reputation with them, not giving them my personal information. Anyways, uh, I think I have my Twitter in my on my YouTube channel. You have to go to my YouTube channel and hit other social medias and check. But if not, it's just the same name as here, Elder Blue Steve. But yeah, I made a post there asking what I should stream, and if you guys want to say, oh, I forgot, I actually made a poll here on YouTube, so you can check my post, and there should be a poll asking what I should stream about. So yeah, you don't even have to go to Twitter. You can just go to YouTube here, and if you have any suggestions on what I should stream, just let me know. Right now I'm open to anything because I have no ideas. I have some other video games, but they don't really fit like like Mass Effect and stuff. I streamed Mass Effect before, but it's kind of out of the blue. But it is Christmas, so it could be like a special one-off thing. I don't know. Just let me know what you guys think. We need another stack. But while talking about Christmas, well, what are you guys planning to do for Christmas yourselves? I I got a few gifts for some people I know. I'm also still working on making some custom Christmas ornaments for some people. Is Let me know though what gifts you're expecting or would like to get for Christmas this year. I was sadly told what I was getting. It kind of ruins the surprise, but whatever. And I'm getting something related to D&D. I think it was D and a maps for D&D or minis, something like that. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. At least one of the gifts I'm getting. I don't know everything exactly. Uh, oh, I'm also planning to, if I can, of course, if I have time, I'm planning to cook something for Christmas. Last year, what I did, I tried to like add something to the Christmas meal, and last year I decided to cook the turkey. I actually did it a different way than we've ever done it. I I, I deep fried it. No, I'm joking. Deep frying a turkey is scary, but I spatchcocked it. Like I kind of spatchcocked it wrong. Like I did it really bad. I do not know bird anatomy, so I accidentally cut off the breastbone. You're supposed to cut out the spine. I cut out the breast area. And even after I did that, I could not push the thing down to break the bones. Because after you cut out the spine when you're spatchcocking, you're supposed to press down and break the bone so it flattens out. I could not do that. I, I am not heavy enough. I put my whole body weight into it. Like, I put both my hands onto the turkey and literally pushed myself up using the turkey. It did not budge. That's how light I am. So yeah, I ended up spatchcocking. I didn't even know at first that I cut out the breast and not the spine to begin with, but it still came out really good. But I did do it wrong. But this year, if I have time and I have the extra money, I'm thinking about ordering some rabbit off Amazon. I'm not too sure if it's gonna reach me in one piece. It's a, I'm assuming it's gonna come in like a pack of dry ice or something, and it's supposed to be a pack of 3, but it is really expensive. But what I want to make is a rabbit stew. I know I've been cooking a lot of soups recently, like Halloween pumpkin soup. What I want to make for Christmas rabbit soup. But it's a, now, but it's not supposed to be just any rabbit soup. I want to make my own recipe, and it's kind of based off the lore of my V2 model and character. So if you don't know, I probably my short my short introducing myself probably already kind of ruined the surprise and a bit of lore reveal. But my character is from a place called Pawa, and not to give too much away, but pretty much your own only food source. I know I kind of have tweets about it on my Twitter, shush, but pretty much your only food source is rabbit. And they do have some other stuff, but it's mostly vegetables and not it's not proteins. Their main food source though is rabbit. And it's not any rabbit though. It's a basically an Arctic rabbit. It's fantasy and stuff. It's an Arctic rabbit, so it's very fatty because I love animals that evolve in the cold and stuff end up evolving thick fat like walruses and stuff. So it's a very fatty rabbit, and yeah, I want the pumpkin, not pump. Why I keep wanting to say pumpkin? I want to make the rabbit soup recipe be like lore accurate to the world. But the issue is, like I just said, they have very little ingredients. Like where my character's from, very little ingredients to work with. So I want it to be lore accurate, but I also don't want it to taste terrible. I don't want to be eating medieval peasant food. So I have to figure out a good way of making it taste good, which I I think I have some ideas, but I haven't even tried it, so I don't know. I think I've had rabbit like once in my life, and that was a long time ago. So yeah, I gotta order it, taste a little bit of it, figure out what I'm gonna do with it and stuff. Oh, but hey, just if we I don't know, if we reach 50 subscribers, and on this video if we reach 50 subscribers and 100 views, so only like half of you would have to watch this video twice. If we reach that goal, I will make a video on the recipe, how to make it and everything. of course, it might be after Christmas, depending on when this video comes out. I'm kind of aiming to release this video on Christmas, but yeah, if this video reaches 50 subscribers and 100 views, I will 100% order the rabbit and give you guys a recipe for the soup. So yeah, that's your guys' challenge if you guys really want to find out the soup or the bit of lore information, because I'll probably slip in some lore while on that video. I would have to figure out how I'm going to cook it for the video and all that, but meh. Well, I'll figure it out when it comes. But yeah, what are you guys making this year for Christmas? Uh, obviously it isn't for Christmas. I'm recording this way before Christmas, but someone I know tried making for what's it called, for Thanksgiving. They made some uh what's the red stuff called? I can't think of what it's called. Cranberry? It's cranberry, right? Cran Cranberry sauce? Yeah, cranberry sauce. They tried making some cranberry sauce, but they didn't use cranberries. It was weird. They used cranberry juice and gelatin. It to be honest, it looked like it was just jelly, literally. I usually don't eat cranberry sauce to begin with, but I love cranberry juice. Cranberry juice is delicious. It's like that perfect level of sour and sweet, and I really love sour things. Like, if I could, I would totally just snack on what are they called? Atomic waste while recording, if I could. That's how much I love sour stuff. I used to actually have a container of atomic waste I would snack on occasionally, but of course I ate it all, and yeah, I think I still have the container somewhere. They I don't know if they still put them in the containers, but the containers are kind of nice. I was using it like as a coin jar for a while. But yeah, what are you guys making, or do you guys will you guys be cooking anything for Christmas, like a special meal to add to the table? Are you hoping to get anything? I always am excited for my honey glazed carrots. Those are always nice. I get them every year. Yeah, my favorite. Even though I love my honey glazed carrots, they're a side dish. They're not exactly a main main part of the dish usually. The, but the thing I'm always looking forward to protein wise is the ham. I love the ham. Like, controversial take and all, but ham is like 20 times better than turkey. And you cannot tell me otherwise. Ham, ham is just way better. It has the glaze, it has all that seasoning on it. It's just way better. But yeah, I usually do a lot of the decorating for Christmas anyways. I actually this year I decided to climb up on the roof, which n- no one has yet to actually climb up on the roof where we live currently. It's an old building, and no one wanted to climb on the roof, even to fix things. So we've never been up there. I finally decided to go up there. It's actually pretty sturdy up there too, but I also don't weigh a ton, as I just said with the turkey incident. Uh, yeah, I went up there. I put up some decorations. I also got this. We got this ladder that was meant to climb up onto another roof. I absolutely hate this ladder. At least I hate it trying to climb off of it and onto a roof, because it's not an what are they called, an A square ladder or something. I think that's what they're called. It's not an A ladder. Just it leans against the wall. That's it, and it is very flimsy. It's supposed to hold like a few. I think it was like 200 pounds or more, something like that. But the thing wiggles so much, like it wiggles a ton. But what I ended up using it for is I leaned it against the wall, and I was using it to put up Christmas decorations, not on the roof but on the wall. How I got on the roof was kind of funny. We have this like carport, I guess. It's not. I wouldn't call it a carport, or it's not garage either. I don't know what to call it. It's like this uh overhang that comes off of our building. We have this giant concrete slab basically right outside our building, and over is this overhang. it's really sturdy. But the overhang attaches to our roof, and it's lower than our roof. So what I did was just climbed on the car and then climbed onto the roof. Like it, it felt way safer than trying to do it with a ladder. I originally did try using a ladder, but I, I just didn't have the confidence to do it. And even if I got up there, I would 100% be stuck because I hate climbing. Like, if I want to climb down from somewhere, I need to see where my feet are going. If I cannot see where my feet are going, it's nope, I am not coming down. That's the. So, yeah, using the car felt a lot safer. It was a lot easier. And yeah, I just went up there. I put some decorations. Then after I put the decorations on the roof, I did the walls and stuff. Oh, actually, talking about that, I forgot to plug them in. It's currently uh night out. I need to plug them in, otherwise all my work was pointless. I'll do that once it becomes night again. But yeah, that's what I did. It didn't take that long, to be honest. Only a few hours. But also made it take a little bit longer because I had someone out there with me. I was just chatting with them while I was doing it. I ran out of conversation topics again. It's really hard to keep up a conversation, even definitely when it's just you talking to yourself. I really must be I really must sound crazy to anyone who happens to overhear me, because we have thin walls where I live, so I am 100% sure some people can hear me, and yeah, they must think I'm really crazy for talking to myself like this, and that's a good thing. They don't have to bother me now. I'm joking. What else? Honestly, I don't know what else to talk about other than talking about things I don't know what to talk about. Uh, that would be my alarm to my phone telling me to wake up. I'm kind of already awake. It's 8 and it's really early too, so it's kind of pointless. I eventually need to clear out my alarms. Like I set that alarm when I had to make like I set that alarm when I had to make 200 pizzas because I had to wake up extremely early. And I set that alarm, that was like months ago. So yeah. And I've just been too lazy to go and remove it. I really should, because it bugs me to have to deal with it all the time. Definitely when I try going to sleep early, and then I just hear that alarm go up and like, no, wake up, wake up, wake up. But also I'm too lazy to go and deal with it. I'll eventually deal with it when it eventually frustrates me enough, but yeah, until then, I guess it stays on my phone. Alright, we are back. I went and grabbed myself some food. I was hungry. Uh, I I gotta eat some leftovers I made a couple days ago. Kind of sad. I made like I think it was like 5 pounds of fried rice. Yeah, it has eggs in it, but I wouldn't exactly call it egg fried rice because it doesn't have all the. It has green onions and stuff, but it doesn't have that many vegetables. It's pretty much only green onions that's the vegetable. I was I didn't have that much to work with. I just had rice, some meat, and not even full green onions. The ends of green onions that have been sitting in the fridge for like 3 or 4 days. Like I don't know who got them, but whoever cut them, I don't care who got them. Whoever decided to cut the green onions, they did it in the most diabolical way possible. They decided not to dice one green onion at a time. No, they decided to dice the whole bunch of green onions little by little. Like that's what it looked like. They left all the ends. There was like maybe 4 inches of green onion left I had to use from the base of the green onion to the top. That was it. Just 4 inches. I don't know who cut it that way. It was obviously going to go bad way quicker cutting it that way. You cut all you need to do is cut one green onion for if you're only using it for a little bit of green onions. I don't know why they decided to cut the whole bunch, but they did, whatever. But yeah, I made some like 5 pounds of fried rice. I think I didn't, of course, weigh it, but it was a good sized pot full of fried rice. I used some steak. I cut it thin, and the steak had a little bit of freezer burn. It wasn't that bad, but it had a little bit of freezer burn. So what I did was I got some sweet soy sauce we had, and I marinated it using a Ziploc bag. So the freezer burn kind of didn't matter. I added liquid to fix it, and then after I let it sit for a day, then I cooked it. Yeah, and the rice itself, I think it was like 3 or 4 cups of rice, and I cooked that in vegetable broth. So yeah, it came out really good. I for the rice itself, I of course washed it. Always wash your rice and any vegetables really. But after I wash the rice, what I like to do when I cook rice, I kind of do it. I don't even cook rice technically speaking properly. I don't have either a rice cooker, and I've tried doing it on a stove. I absolutely suck at doing it at a stove. Like I've tried cooking rice on a stove multiple times, looked up how to do it. I have followed the exact recipes. I always fail. It always turns out mushy. I don't know how. I can add no water to the rice and just throw rice in a dry pot. It's gonna somehow turn mushy. So I use a pressure cooker and I cook my rice that way. And I use roughly a 1-to-1 ratio. If I'm making like something like fried rice, I'll add less liquid. I don't really measure when I'll measure it, but then I'll add just slightly a little less liquid so when the rice cooks, the rice doesn't get too like it doesn't cook 100%. It's just slightly dry. Not crunchy obviously, but it just has that dryness that you need for making fried rice. Cuz normally yeah, you would use like a day or two old rice, but we don't eat rice that much. At least let me rephrase. No one else cooks rice that much. I have a ton of rice. No one else ever touches it. So I'm always pretty much the only one who ever makes it. So we never have any stored in the fridge, and I'm just kind of too lazy to make it ahead of time. So either I will usually add less water, so it's less so it's a little drier and works for fried rice, or I'll throw it in after I make the rice, even if just in case, like if it does end up being too mushy or not mushy, too wet, I guess. I will throw it in the fridge without a cover on a sheet pan, and that usually dries it out in like a couple hours. And that's the type of rice you want to use. You want to use rice that isn't crunchy, obviously. You don't want crunchy rice, but you also don't want it to be like perfectly cooked. You want a little bit of dryness, and that helps when you're throwing in the pan with the oil and the egg. That helps. So the rice actually it isn't mushed when you're mixing it. Basically, it holds its shape really well. Yeah. After well, besides vegetable broth though that I used in it, I also threw in I believe I used celery salt. I have a thing of celery salt I've been using for a long time just for any rice dishes I make. It's always good. Uh, Controversial one like to put in my rice. I like putting in a lot of things, but it's very controversial for rice, I think, or Asian dishes. And I like to put Italian seasoning. Now, it's not for the garlic. It's not for anything. Before I start getting a riot in my comment section, it's not because I want the garlic or Italian flavor. I really only do it because it's a cheap way of getting herbs. I use it more. I use Italian seasoning. I can't speak. I use Italian seasoning more as a herb mix than Italian seasoning. I obviously use it in pasta and stuff, but I like to act like Italian seasoning is more of a herb mix than just Italian. I know it. Think sometimes, depending on what type of Italian seasoning you get, it'll have garlic and onion powder already mixed in. But the ones I get are the cheap ones that are just the base herbs, like oregano, thyme, and stuff. And I just like the herb taste that adds definitely on rice. That's really good on rice. Herbs. But yeah, I use Italian seasoning. I put in some sage. That's another one that I'm not. I feel like it's Asian, but like in a lot of Asian dishes, but I'm actually not sure about it. If you guys know, let me know. I could be out of here doing a lot of things that are gonna make uh big people mad. But yeah, uh I think that was about it. Celery salt, some vegetable broth, the Italian seasoning, and the sage, and that's what I used to cook the rice. Then I after the rice was cooked, I put it to the side so I could cook up my one other thing I like to do with the rice is a lot of usually you get told to like put oil of some kind in the water with the rice. It depends on the recipe, but some recipes will call for that. And the issue I have with that is water and oil don't mix, so it kind of defeats the purpose. The oil just ends up sitting on top, and it does nothing. Uh, you obviously you could always just put the oil in the rice after it's done cooking, just fluff it up that way. But what I like to do is I will take some butter and I'll add butter to the rice while before it's cooked, and I'll mix it in with. Usually I do it by hand. Obviously, wash your hands, but I'll make sure all the grains of rice are covered with butter, so when they're cooking, they actually absorb it, and for me it's worked really well. I've never noticed any like butter or oil sitting on top of the rice when it's done cooking. So I think you guys can always let me know if I'm doing things really badly. But that's kind of my method of cooking rice, obviously instant pot and stuff. But then after I cooked the rice and got that done, I took the steak that I had cut into strips and marinated in some sweet soy sauce, and I put some more butter. Oh, can't have too much butter. I know, uh, heart attack. But I took some more butter. Like it wasn't even that much to be honest, but it was just enough to add oil to my wok, and I let the wok and the butter heat up until it was really hot, like where it got to the smoke point. And then I threw all the steak in, even whatever little bit of soy sauce I could get out of the bag, and I threw that all into it. I cooked it. It was sizzling and bubbling, of course. And there's quite a bit of liquid left over from the steak and the soy sauce, but I didn't dump it out. What I did was grab some cornstarch, and I only needed a little, not a lot. And I threw a little bit of cornstarch in with the steak to thicken up that liquid, and it became like a gravy almost, like a gravy consistency. And then I threw in the rice. It wasn't a ton of gravy, so it's not like the fried rice was soaked in gravy or anything. It was just a little bit. And I mixed that in with the rice. So if the rice was even just slight needed to cook, like needed more liquid, that gravy would end up mixing in with the rice and softening it up more. And then once everything was nice and hot, then I threw in one egg at a time. I threw in 3 eggs and I quickly mixed it up. I probably could have added more eggs, but I didn't want to use up all of our eggs, so I only used 3. 3 seemed like a good amount, anyways. Yeah, and that's what I did. Sadly, I have been the only one to ever eat it. Like, it's really sad. I put all of that effort into making a big meal because we didn't have any leftovers in the fridge. No one but me has touched it. There's like one more bowl left in that giant pot, and I'm probably going to eat it tomorrow, and that sucks. And of course, I'm going to be cooking tomorrow again because I want to cook again, and I bet no one's going to eat that either. They might, but minor annoyances. I've also been really thirsty recently. Like, I have another bottle of water. I literally just got this bottle of water maybe 5 minutes ago, and it's almost gone already. Like, I don't know why I've been so thirsty right now. It's not like it's summer either. It's like the dead of winter. I don't know why I'm so thirsty. Probably gonna need to get another bottle of water shortly. It's not like it's a flavored drink or anything like Gatorade or something that's going to dehydrate me. No, it's just plain water. And I have been thirsty, really thirsty recently. Like maybe the last couple days. No idea why. I just been needing to drink a lot of water. Uh, on the subject of cooking though and stuff, I well, kind of depends on when you guys are watching this. Obviously, you're not watching this tomorrow as the day I'm referring to, but tomorrow I will be. I if I have time, of course. I believe I will. But tomorrow I will be making some mac and cheese. Now the challenge here, because everyone has eaten all the food it seems, and no one knows what to cook. I look in the cabinets for 3 seconds and I find half a dozen meals. But anyways, what I'm planning to cook is I'm gonna try making mac and cheese. Well, not trying to make mac and cheese. I'm gonna make mac and cheese, but I'm using this box of mac and cheese that I am unsure about. Not because it's old or anything. It's actually pretty much a brand new box. Well, couple boxes. But I'm unsure about it because the last time I've tried this was I believe when it first came out because I was curious about it, and it's the Cheeto, yeah, Cheeto mac and cheese. Last time I tried it, it tastes terrible. But I have made those cheap boxes of like $1 mac and cheese stuff come out really good, like Velveeta good. So maybe I could work my magic and make that taste good. Maybe they also improve the recipe because it looks like it's a new type. So maybe it's a little better too. I don't know. I'll have to see. But what I plan to do currently is I'm going to do that with some I'm going to be making the mac and cheese with some pork chops. I got well, it's pork steaks, but I'm gonna. It doesn't matter if it was pork chops or pork steaks. I'm going to be cubing it up and mixing it in with the mac and cheese. What I like to do with what I generally like to do when it comes to box the not box mac and cheese, the powdered cheese for mac and cheese. What I like to do to make it good is I will well obviously need to add milk. Butter is a big one. Like you need to add some type of fat. I know there's probably fat like in it, dehydrated fat or something, but you just need to add fresh fat. So butter. What I like to do is use butter, and that really makes it creamier. But another thing that just helps is add more fat, which I know I just said, but no. Uh, I like to add a little bit of real cheese, even if it's cheap stuff. Just add some real cheese to mix in, and it will cheesify it. I I don't know a better explanation, but yeah, just add some more cheese, real cheese. So take the powdered cheese, add some real cheese to it. There you go. I know it kind of beats the purpose and stuff, but that's what I like to do. I don't need to even add a ton of real cheese, just a little bit, just enough to add something to it. You just trying to, because when you dehydrate, or I doubt it's dehydrating. I'm pretty sure what they do to make the powdered cheeses and stuff, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, is they freeze dry it. But when you're doing really any of that to fat and oils and stuff, you're going to like destroy some of its properties. You're gonna mess it up. You're not gonna make it as good. You're making it shelf stable and stuff, but it's just not gonna taste as good when you rehydrate it. So you need to add some actual fat back into it that hasn't been all ruined, and that's what I like to try doing. And of course, I do it even with Velveeta, the good stuff. Good in quotation marks. Yeah, quotation marks. Uh, I add seasoning to it anyways. Not salt. Do not add salt to Velveeta. There's a ton of salt in Velveeta. Just look at the back of a Velveeta thing. It has a ton of salt. Which I'm not saying salt's 100% bad. You obviously need salt, but just the amount of salt though, that's bad. Anyways, I like to add seasonings to it. Anyways, like I'll add some more garlic and stuff. It's I have a hard time explaining how I cook because I kind of just do it on instinct. Like I do what feels right, and that's how I kind of cook. So it's kind of hard to explain. I can obviously tell you guys what I put into it if I actually measure out what I'm doing and stuff. But I rarely measure out any seasonings or anything. I eyeball it, do it by what feels right, and if I need to, I'll taste test it. But yeah, that's kind of how I cook, so it's kind of hard to explain or teach someone else how to do it. because like I'm doing it by instinct. How do I explain this? I think, but roughly, I think I have actually measured out before. When I was doing the pumpkin soup recipe, when I was making the pumpkin soup recipe, I was actually measuring out the ingredients to so I could write it down and memorize it for next time. And if now that I saw what like 4 teaspoons or tablespoons looks like, that's kind of roughly the amount of seasoning I put in when I eyeball. Maybe a little, obviously it varies, but that's what it kind of looked like when I just eyeball it. Roughly like it was either teaspoons or tablespoons. I don't remember. I don't know why that's there. That doesn't need to be here. But that's kind of what it looks like. Obviously, I don't know if that's correct, but yeah. Like I said, I kind of do it by eye. It also depends on the portions you're using. Whenever I cook, I like to cook a large amount of food so there's leftovers. But I don't know if everyone does that. I feel like everyone should. You should always have at least a day extra of leftovers, but I don't know why. People don't. I still have pumpkin soup. Like, I think I went a little too overboard with the pumpkin soup, but I still have a ton of pumpkin soup. What I It's not like it's been sitting in the fridge molding. No, I poured it into a deep sheet pan, and then what I did was I sat it in the freezer, did touch it, and just let it. I didn't let it fully freeze, but I let it start freezing. Like it was in that slush stage of freezing, and then I took a knife and I ran it across where I wanted where I wanted to add score marks. So that when it fully froze, it wherever I dragged the knife through with the slush, it didn't like fully freeze brick solid, and I was able to easily break it like kind of like a chocolate bar, and that's what I did to cube it into like rough. It's roughly about a portion. Each cube's roughly like a bowl full. So yeah, I think like 20 something cubes, so 26 something servings of that pumpkin soup, and that's after I donated like half. It had to be like half a pot or more of my pumpkin soup to a some place I used to work. It's a nice place. I'm not gonna obviously say where, but it was a nice place I used to work, and I donated it to them because pretty much everyone there works is volunteers. None of them get paid, so I wanted to bring in some nice food. Hello, future Steve taking over because past Steve completely ran out of conversations to talk to himself about. So I'll be taking over. Uh, so how is your everyone's day going? Didn't think this through. Past me didn't have any ideas. Future me won't either. Good, good. Does anyone actually reply to when videos like break the fourth wall and start talking to the viewer like you directly? Like, does anyone actually reply? Are you replying to me right now and I just don't know it? Because I did ask you a question. Ah, anyways, I feel like there's plenty of videos where you're meant to reply, but how? Unless you've watched the video a couple times, how do you say something back to the video without like being interrupted? So it would make a cool introduction to like a character. Like imagine a scene where we see this character talking on the phone with someone, and they're going back and forth. They're like they're not interrupting each other while they're talking. Though. They're going back and forth cleanly. It seems like a nice, calm conversation. Like we're joining hearing in the conversation midway through, and then all of a sudden, the character gets out of sync with the pre-recorded voicemail thingy, and it kind of snaps the character back into reality. I actually really like that idea. I I gotta note that down somewhere so I don't forget the idea. I guess it's a good thing I'm reading off a script I wrote like at 1 a.m. when I was half asleep. But anyways, what to talk about? We got like 45 more minutes to voiceover, so I guess I could talk about the builds. Okay, where are we? It looks like we're working on the windmill right now. And that was actually the build that took me the longest to figure out, just because I couldn't get something that I was happy with. I originally tried building what was basically just this tube and then throwing details on top of the tube. It was originally it was just like I think it was cobblestone and wood pillars going straight up, and then I was trying to add like slabs and stuff to it to give it shape, but I just couldn't get it to a point where I was happy with. So I ended up completely deleting that, starting over, and I was trying to then make a tower out of basically cubes stacked on top of each other, gradually getting smaller, kind of like what we are building now. But I just wasn't happy with that one either. And while trying to figure out what I was going to build, I ended up going and checking my Reddit because I was getting a lot of notifications from there when I posted the farm time lapse I made. And that's when I saw this build. I'll put it up on screen by Foolish Schizo, uh, great name, mate, on the Golden Age Minecraft subreddit. And that's the design I ended up using with a few changes, like I added the slabs that you guys saw me add on, and then I changed up how the top of the roof was shaped. But yeah, if you're watching this, Foolish Psycho, thank you for your build. I'm stealing it. Hope you don't mind. Uh, but yeah, the blades for the windmill are pretty much well, they're literally exactly the same as the windmill we used in the lumber yard. Just I just made it bigger. But yeah, also talking about those little animations I made. I know I haven't posted them here on YouTube mostly because they're like 2 seconds long and I don't know what they really do with them. But you guys actually seem to like them a lot more than I thought you guys were. Like I was only expecting like a couple likes here and there, maybe one comment saying it was cool or something. But I got over 500 likes in a day. And just like wow, that was a ton. So I'll definitely be making more. And if you guys who know me from just YouTube want to go check out what I'm talking about, I have them over on my Twitter too. Though now that I'm thinking about it, I could just post them here on YouTube. I of course can't make shorts with them because they're just too short. But I could post the GIFs to the community tab. I should have thought about this sooner. I hope all of you aren't here for my brains because they left for Mexico long ago. Uh, so yeah, thank you guys for all the support on those animations. I don't know what I'll be. I don't know what my next one will be yet. I'm kind of still thinking about that. The only thing I don't think I can really do though is making an animation slash time lapse of me like just building because of how much it would slow me down. Because like what I would have to take a screenshot every couple of blocks, and I would have to make sure I'm in third person when I do that every time. It would be a pain. But I also don't hate the idea, so I'm just not kind of sure. I like the idea of doing it. I'm just not sure. So if you guys have any suggestions on any animations I should make, let me know, and yeah, I'll take a look. Oh, since I'm also recording this in the future and all, you know that mac and cheese meal I was talking about like a bit ago? Well, I made it, and it didn't come out that bad. Maybe saltier than I would have liked overall, but not too bad for what I was expecting at least. So what I ended up doing was I cubed the pork up, and I put in some a bowl of milk with a some saran wrap over it. I would have preferred like heavy cream, but we didn't have any. And in general, I am lucky we even had milk because, and I don't know how, but somehow we drink like a gallon of milk a day. Don't ask me. I got no clue. But I guess we're just preparing for when in I guess we're just preparing for the 2040 calcium shortage. But what I did was I let the pork sit in the milk for a bit, and that would help it like tenderize and stuff and make it juicier. Then when I was ready to cook the pork, I put some butter in a pan. I let the butter melt, and I let it get really hot. And while I was waiting for the pan to heat up, I separated the milk and the meat. There's a reason for this. Once the pan was nice and hot, I put only the meat into the pan. I did that so the meat would cook and get like a sear on it, and not just like boil in the milk and fat. Then once the pork was good and I got that nice sear on it, I put both packets of the cheese powder in the pan with some other spices like more Italian seasoning. I think I added a little bit more salt. I honestly may have gone a little too heavy on that. Not overboard, but just a tad. I add some garlic and onion, and I mixed in all the spices in and the cheese, and that like turned the pork bright orange, like bright orange. But once it was all mixed together, I poured in the rest of the milk and cooked it longer into the cheese powder had mixed in and thickened with the milk. And don't dare comment salmonella in the comments. I made sure the milk was not that had the raw pork in it was cooked too. It didn't. I wasn't like I just threw it in the pan for like a minute, pulled it out once it started thickening, and said no, that's good. I let it cook for a little bit because I knew there was raw pork in it, and it needed to heat up and get cooked too. But then after it was all hot, because it was still more like liquidy and not cheesy, like it wasn't gooey, I guess. I took a small handful of real cheese, but it's not like it's freshly grated. It's the bag grated stuff with the corn potato starch covering it. But I took a handful of that and I melted it into the sauce. So the not a big handful, only needed a little bit. And that was just to get more of that cheesy consistency, like that gooey type consistency you expect with cheese. And it turned out pretty good. I was kind of snacking on the pork while I was waiting for the noodles to cook too. Don't 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 rat on me. I'm trusting you guys. You cannot rat on me. Other than that, I also got a new mouse. It's not like a super fancy one, but it's wireless like I needed, and it doesn't have the weird clicking issue I was having where like I would try to break a block and I guess the button wasn't being pressed down completely, so it would reset my progress on breaking that block, and it was annoying. The scroll wheel also works half decently. It doesn't stick basically. It moves smoothly. It's like an office mouse, I would say. It's not like a gaming mouse, but it is a lot more comfortable than my old mouse. Like my old mouse was quite small, so it wasn't the most comfortable to use. Definitely after like recording for like 5 hours at a time. But the only real negative to it being bigger is I might have a harder time moving it around because with my current setup, it I'm using a projector like I've talked about. But that also means I can't use my desk for my mouse and keyboard. So I'm using this I don't know what to call it. It's like a you know those it's like it's the art boxes that almost every artist gets as a gift that is not super I want it's it's pretty cheap. It was cheap box. I like the box itself, but the supplies in it they kind of suck. Plus, I do digital art. I'm not a physical artist. But anyways, I got that last Christmas, and it was just sitting around for a while. So now I've been using it, and I set that box on my lap, and then put my mouse pad on it. It's not like a small mouse pad. I have a pretty big mouse pad. It what like one of those ones you put both your keyboard and mouse on. I have one of those, and then I set my keyboard and mouse on that. So I don't have a ton of room for my mouse to move around. like I have my keyboard sitting at an angle, like almost corner to corner, and I have my mouse in that rest of the space to move around. It works for me, but it's not the funnest to use. I, I, I cannot wait until I get a new monitor. I really need one. I've been stuck with a projector for like what? It has to be like a year or two now. Like I'm trying to think, when did my old monitor break? It had to be a year or two ago, and I'm not really, how it broke was weird. Like it wasn't, I didn't just rage at a game and punch my screen, but I was I think I was playing a game, and then all of a sudden the screen flickered white, and then it went back to normal. I thought for a second, okay, I was a little scared for a second. I was like, oh no, did my screen just burn out? I paused for a second, looked at the screen, solid 5 seconds, nothing happened. It seemed okay. I touched the keyboard, screen goes black instantly, and I have no idea why. It's probably just because it was old. Like I had that TV for probably like 5 years, and it wasn't even meant to be like a TV. Wasn't a monitor. It was literally a TV. It was I used to work at a hotel, and I got that TV from a hotel, so it wasn't like a really nice TV either. It was pretty cheap. So yeah, sad times. And like I said, I gave my other monitor over. Well, I okay. Let me rephrase. I didn't give. I lent my other monitor to a friend because their monitor ended up getting broken when they moved, and I've never gotten it back. It's like my nice monitor too, so it kind of sucks. And right now, I okay. The reason why I had gotten two monitors was because I for several years I've been trying to get a three monitor setup because I knew I wanted to do recording and streaming. So I wanted three monitors so I could have Twitch chat open, so I wouldn't have issues like I have with previous streams. And that's why I got it. And I even have the what is it called? The 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 mount for it hooked up to my desk right behind me. And every time I look back there, I have to be reminded that there's nothing hooked up to it. I finally got rid of the old TV because I had it hooked up for like a year just sitting on the hook because I didn't have the energy to take it off the mount. But I finally got rid of it, so now my desk actually has some more room to for my microphone and for other stuff. But still, it it's still there. It reminds me every time I look back there. And it's not like I can just take it off the desk because I use it to wrap my wires around for cable management. But yeah, sad times. Maybe this, well, next year, depending, yeah, it should be next year because there should be a few more days before the end of this year. Maybe next year I'll get a monitor or so if my channel starts getting bigger or if I have extra money sitting around. But yeah, also that seeing as it's near the end of the year, I doubt I'll be finishing anything else on my New Year's resolution bingo card. Sadly, I didn't get any bingos, but I did finish five of the things on it, and not all five were like really easy things either. So, yeah. But if any of you guys are planning to make a New Year's resolutions, I strongly suggest making a bingo card, and not just because I did it. I have three reasons why I think you should make one. Reason number one, since you'll be putting everything you want, I'm assuming you're going to most likely make more than one resolution. Technically speaking, it's probably smarter that if you only make one New Year's resolution if you're doing it in just a list. But, anyways, I'm going to assume you're going to be making a list of resolutions, anyways. So instead of having them all in one list, you could put them in a bingo card. And since you're making multiple resolutions anyways, not all of them are going to be super hard, like losing 20 pounds or something. It's not going to be as hard as that. Some of them are going to be harder, some of them are going to be easier. And I don't think all of them should be hard either. make some of your tasks like something you would do most likely anyways in that year. Like, for example, last year I didn't have a great sleep schedule, so one of my goals was to fix that. And now I think I've gotten myself on a good sleep schedule. I'm waking up decently early in the morning and I'm going to bed at a reasonable time too. Even another one of my ones, for example, was to beat Mass Effect 1. Though I kind of failed that one mostly because since I started recording and like making videos and content, I noticed I've stopped playing games as much. Like, I don't know. I guess since I'm playing games like 60 hours straight, for example, on the lumberyard, I just don't have the energy or really, I guess, willingness or wanting to play more video games when I have free time. I want to do something else with my free time. Second reason I think you should do a bingo card instead of a list, though, is because if you do finish a bingo, like you get a line and you get a bingo, it's gonna feel so accomplishing. And even more so if you get your friends or family to make their own bingo cards. So all of you are kind of pushing each other to complete your goals. Like if you're sharing the bingo cards in a group chat or something, you all will be able to see the goals you're completing. But of course, don't like make it a competition or like I guess you can make it a competition, but don't make it like a I don't know, be sportsmen's like. Don't push either of yourselves, any of each other, too hard to the point where you just don't want to do it anymore. But yeah, even if you don't get a bingo, you will still feel like you've accomplished. At at the end of the year, you're still gonna have at least completed a handful of things. Like for example, I completed 5 things still on the list. That's still 5 of my goals out of a ton of other ones that I was I had to make to fill out the bingo card, but that's still 5 goals compared to if you make like a list of New Year's resolutions, and most people never complete one. Even if you only complete a handful of them, it's still going to feel really good and you're going to want to do it again. But reason number 3 is since it's a bingo card, you will likely have it like saved in your phone's pictures or uh drawn out on a piece of paper or something. And I really heavily, if you have it on a piece of paper, I heavily suggest you keep it on you, close to you, somewhere where you're not going to see it all the time, of course, but somewhere where, like, if you have a wallet or a purse or a bag, computer bag or backpack or something, somewhere where you can tuck it. You're not going to pull it out all the time, but just that occasional time you're going to go through your bag or wallet or whatever and you're gonna see the bingo card and it's just gonna remind you, oh hey, I have this stuff. Instead of having it written down on a list of piece of paper that you keep on a shelf and it gets lost and you forget about it, or on a, on your phone noted down and then you never look at your notes again. And also being able to physically cross out something on whether it's digital or on a piece of paper, being able just to physically do that is gonna like give you a what's it called? Not melatonin, it's going to give you the happy chemicals. You're going to feel accomplished, even if it isn't a full cross out. And then the other bonus of having these bingo cards is you'll be able to keep the cards themselves and be able to look back at them and see just your progress over time. You'll be able to look at previous years and just see how, how you progress. But yeah, whether or not you use the bingo card idea or not, comment your New Year's resolutions in the comment section of this video and come back to this in 1 year's time and let me know how you guys did. I would love to know. I find a lot of things really interesting, so let me know. And hey, if you do finish your New Year's resolutions, I'll give your comment a heart. I know some of you might lie, but we're gonna go on the what's it called? I'm just gonna trust you guys not to lie. But for myself, I'm not totally sure what I'm gonna put on my new bingo card. Uh, I'm sure one of the goals will be for me to improve my knowledge of like programs for editing and just generally video creation. Like Blender, for example, I use it for the outros of the video. I don't know if I'll be using it in Indev because you guys probably understand why I don't know, but I don't know if I'll be using an Indev, but still I might use it in the future. Anyways, definitely if I want to improve my V2 model, like if I want to go 3D with it. So, but the issue is I really suck at it. The outros haven't been like consistent and I'm not really happy with them 100%. They're okay, but they're not great. I also generally want to work on improving my editing and stuff. Another goal I most likely will have is to work on like my focusing. Like I have trouble focusing on recording all the time. I'll get sidetracked. I'll record for like an hour, take 30-minute break, record for another couple hours, or sometimes I'll stay up really late, be hating myself in the morning, but I'll record really late, forget to do personal stuff, and yeah, I just have trouble focusing on doing stuff or doing things in general. And part of that is definitely due to me having a bad habit of scrolling shorts in TikTok. And I know that because I tried not watching them for like a few months with success, and I definitely felt better. But I kind of slipped back into the bad habit, and I'm just gonna say this now: do not throw shade or go harassing these creators. Don't do anything like that. I still love your channels. I find them really funny and enjoyable to watch. But I think part of the reason I kind of slipped back into that bad habit is because some of the creators I really like primarily post short form content like Eric is Tired or Dorvan Dad or No Panic Button and probably half a dozen other ones I'm not thinking of right now. But I really like their videos and find them entertaining. But the issue is they are short form content, which isn't good for you. And of course, I'm not blaming them for that. They're making content. They have to make content just like I make short form content. Whether it's good for you guys or not, I have to kind of make that content if I want to succeed. Now, if I had a bigger channel like some other creators do, where before short form content came into play, I wouldn't have to make short form content. But seeing as I am small right now, I have to make short form content. And so do they. Also, I'm pretty sure some of them make longer form content too. I'm pretty sure at least I know 100% No Panic Button does this, but they make I'm pretty sure some of them make just videos where they put all their short form content back to back in one single video. And I think that's more what I should be watching while I'm trying to cut myself off from shorts, because it's like it's an in between. It is shorts, but it's a bunch of them lined up together, so it's not like I'm just scrolling for hours. Plus, I also should have myself been regulating how much I watch them. But it doesn't 100% help when YouTube keeps pushing them in your face all the time. It is extremely annoying. I personally, there is technically one way to disable shorts completely, and that's if you're using YouTube on your browser. This is what I did for one of my nephews. They're really young, and they don't have YouTube downloaded on their device, like as an app. They go and search it up and then watch YouTube on their browser. So I did, bit hypocritical of me as being forced back into the bad habit, but I kind of did it because I didn't want them forming that bad habit like I did. And what I did was I put on an extension to their browser that completely removed short form content from YouTube. Like, you can't click shorts, you can't go to the shorts menu. If you try going to your history, they won't appear there. If you go to a channel, that the shorts don't load. I don't think they even appear there, but if you force it there, they won't load at all. You can't click on anything. And that's what I did for him. Just because I didn't want them forming that bad habit like I did. But during the time when I was not watching short form content for that few months during that time, I listened to a lot of podcasts. Well, I don't know if you really count them as podcasts, but I was watching a lot of podcasts on YouTube, mostly a lot of crime stuff, and and channels channels like Rotten Mango or Tail Foundry. I really liked listening to in the background when I was like drawing or doing something, but I can't really do that. I guess I could listen to them, but it it would be weird having to pause the video. But what I've been doing is whenever I'm waiting out the night for recordings, like I'm of course not wandering around at night, as you guys can probably tell from just watching my videos. So what I'll do is I'll just wait out the nights and then head out when it becomes day to go do stuff. Well, during that like 5 minute period, I will open up my phone and scroll shorts. Bad habit. And but the issue is I don't know I don't think I could really watch like a I don't know, just open up YouTube and then watch a regular length video for like 5 minutes and then instantly go back to the game once it starts up, because longer form content wants to keep your attention for the whole duration. It doesn't want you pausing and stuff. So if you just pause midway through the video, it's a little annoying. But yeah, other than YouTube's issues, I think another thing I definitely want to work on is my conversation skills, because just trying to do this voiceover has taken me forever. And even outside of talking to just this microphone, I know, big shock. I in fact do go outside. I do touch grass. I know what the sun looks like. Uh, but yeah, and I don't know if it's really just an issue with me, I don't know, talking, but also I just generally don't have anything interesting to say, so I don't feel like I have anything to add to many conversations unless it's in like a specific thing that I know a bit about. Like just a second ago with the short stuff, I know a little bit about that, so I had a bit to talk about there, but normally I really don't have anything to talk about. And when I do have something to talk about, it's kind of rare that it's in a place where I feel like I can talk about it, or I want to, or someone wants to hear me talk about it. Like here, for example, I couldn't talk to y'all about anything really slightly personal or anything that I think might somehow link back to me and dox me. So I'm always thinking twice about anything I do say, which I bet doesn't help with me talking. But anyways, I think that's enough talking about life stuff and things that will bring us down and get us all sad. Let's see. It looks like we are just now finishing up the build, so we are currently working on setting up the pass, and I gotta say, while I do like how they look, they are so expensive to build. Like, I used a stack of iron to just make these paths, which is a ton in this version because like a stack of iron lasts you quite a while because you aren't like mine. You don't have to do huge strip mines. I kind of do, but it still lasts quite a while, and there isn't like infinite iron in this world. We have very little of it, and it's a pain to find. So a stack lasts you quite a while, unless at least it lasts me quite a while because I don't make a ton of armor all the time. So yeah, these paths are expensive, so do not expect me to build them too often. I just wanted to link the tree and the farm together, so like they're meant to kind of be together. I know I split them into two videos, but they're kind of meant to be one thing. They're that I how I kind of plan out my builds and stuff and I kind of already, for no, I I didn't know I didn't know I was gonna put the tree on that island. From like episode 1, I already knew I wanted to build a giant tree. I also knew I already wanted to build that lumberyard with the giant with all dirt. It just didn't realize how big it was gonna end up being. I knew I wanted to build that castle. I actually specifically was when I before I even started recording, I searched for a seed that had that type of mountain so I could build a because I found a seed on my first generation that I really loved and had that type of mountain, but I didn't save that seed and lost it. So I spent hours looking for a seed that had a similar mountain until I found this seed, and I really liked it. I also know what I'm going to be doing though in the future, and I planned out all these like episodes as sectioned areas. The tree was going to be its own separate episode. I already knew that, but I didn't know it was going to be there and it was going to be connected to a farm. Once I found out about the hose a few episodes ago, then the cogs started turning in my head, and I decided that mountain where the farm is, that would become a farm. I already had that planned, and then the land next to it would also become like where I put some builds. And then, of course, I thought that island over there looked cool, and it would look cool with a tree on it. And because it's next to the farm, I decided I wanted to connect the two because I have a tree farm, now I have a food farm. They're both farms. We should have them connected. But yeah, that being said, too, I am kind of running out of ideas right now. At least currently, I'll probably figure something out. But I got a few more videos in me, but not enough ideas. So if you guys still have ideas, still comment them below. And if I do use your idea, I will bring up your name in the video, just like I did with the build I stole from that guy earlier. Oh, 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 we finally made it. I never thought this day would come. We're finally here. We're at the end. I'm fading away. Past me is taking over. I need, final message, What to say, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Hope I didn't annoy you much. Alright, and that is all of the farm complete, and this episode actually done. We have all of the wheat planted in our terrace farm. Looks nice. We also waited for it all to grow so we can get that nice orange color to show it off. This looks awesome. We also finished up all the builds, so we have our grain silo, our barn, and the windmill, which is huge in comparison to everything else. And this was the view I was talking about, why I didn't want to place any builds in this section. So we would be able to see the tree here. And this is kind of the viewing angle I was kind of building the whole farm around. So that looks awesome. Let's get a viewing angle of the farm from a different angle. And this is what the farm looks like on this side. Of course, right there is a lot flatter due to the issues we were having with making it go around that corner. But it's not that bad from this side. It doesn't look that bad. I really like how the wheat farm looks. It does look a little tall for a terrace farm, but it still looks really cool. I think it's really the only yellow block we have in this version right now, other than cheating in other stuff. Yeah, this is how it looks from this angle. Not you. The only real thing you can really see from here is the windmill and the farm. But yeah, no. The only issue I'm gonna bring up with the farm now is it's kind of impossible now for us to get to the tree farm or the farm that with the builds. We shouldn't have to go over to where the barn is, but we will need to go over to the tree nursery here. And the issue with that is to do that, I would have to trample all of my farm and then replant it every time I go over there. So what I'm kind of thinking, since I was planning on hollowing out this mountain anyways, so it could act like a mob farm, is to let's go over here, because I still have this hole that leads underground, which we probably shouldn't stand too close. Yeah, that's why we don't stand too close to that. There's a creeper down there. But maybe we'll just build a tunnel from over here to the tree nursery and then over there. So yeah, that's this episode. And if you stuck around to the end, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.